Welcome back to Meals to Unalive For. I'm Jody Breton, and this is where food and memory meet, and not everything stays in the past. Let's get into it. Today, we're making a steak crostini. In a world of organized crime, there are rules. Not written down, not spoken aloud, but understood. You don't ask questions, you don't talk to the wrong people, and most importantly, if you disappear, you don't come back. Because in that world, disappearing usually means one thing: someone decided you were a problem, and problems don't get second chances. But in the 1920s, during the height of Prohibition, when cities like Chicago pulsed with bootlegging, bribery, and violence, there was a man who broke that rule. His name was James Bum Rogers. Now, Rogers wasn't a kingpin. He wasn't a name that made headlines like Al Capone, but he was connected. And in that world, that was enough. Enough to make money, enough to get by, and more importantly, enough to get noticed. When something went wrong, and something did, one night Rogers disappeared. No warning, no sign of struggle, he just vanished. At first, nobody panicked, because in the mob, disappearances weren't unusual. They were expected. Someone talks too much, they disappear. Someone skims money, they disappear. Someone becomes inconvenient, they disappear. And no one asks questions, because asking questions is how you become the next problem. So when Rogers didn't show up, didn't check in, didn't return home, people assumed the obvious: he was gone for good. But then, weeks later, he came back, just walked back into the city, alive. And that's when everything changed, because it wasn't just that he came back, it's how he came back. He didn't celebrate, didn't explain, didn't act relieved. He acted off. Like something had shifted, like whatever happened while he was gone didn't stay there. It followed him back. People started asking him questions. Where were you? Who took you? What happened? And Rogers, he gave answers, but not real ones. He said he'd been taken, held somewhere, questioned, but he wouldn't say where, wouldn't say who, and wouldn't say why. And that was the problem, because in the mob, silence isn't safety, it's suspicion, and suspicion is dangerous. Think about it: if someone takes you and you come back alive, there has to be a reason. You don't just get released. Not in that world, so people started to talk, quietly, carefully. But the rumors spread. Some said Rogers made a deal. Others believed something worse: that he had talked, that he had given up names, information, secrets. And in that world, there's only one word for that: informant. And being labeled an informant wasn't just a rumor, it was a death sentence. Rogers felt it too: the shift, the way people stopped talking when he entered a room, the way conversations cut off mid sentence, the way eyes followed him, not with respect, but with calculation. Like they were trying to decide something, and maybe they already had. Because in the mob, perception matters more than truth. It doesn't matter what you did, it matters what people believe you did. And once that belief sets in, there's no fixing it. For Rogers, his return didn't save him, it marked him, like he had crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. And then, not long after, he disappeared again. This time, there was no return, no reappearance, no second walk through the door, no half answers, no uneasy silence. Just nothing. And unlike the first time, no one expected him to come back, because now everything made sense, or at least it made enough sense. And that's where the story ends. No body, no official record of what happened, just a man who vanished, came back, then vanished again. But the real question isn't what happened to him at the end. The real question is what happened in the middle, during those missing weeks, because something happened. Something big enough to change him, big enough to make people afraid of him, big enough to make sure he didn't get a second chance. Was he taken by a rival gang? Did he make a deal to save himself? Did he say something he couldn't take back? Or did something happen that he couldn't even explain? Because sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is survive something you weren't supposed to. Because in a world where people disappear, coming back means someone let you, and that always comes with a cost.